What up? What up? Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. I am your host with the most, A.D. Walker, the pusher, the grower, the motivator. Appreciate you guys for rocking and hanging with us and being in the building. So make sure you are sharing, because sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. It's hard to do it that side because I am a lefty. All right, so sharing is caring. So I appreciate you guys for being here. Make sure you let everybody know that the Brothers are in the building. Same thing as sharing is caring. And thank you for another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. Blessings, Lisa. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys for rocking and hanging with us. If you're not part of our text community, text LWN to 84576. Text LWN to 84576 and never miss a broadcast. You'll never, ever miss a broadcast. So be a part of that as well. So today, we are discussing something that's been on my mind for a little bit of a time. Are men operating under guilt? And we're going to discuss, just kind of making some of the decisions based on guilt and not on decisions that are the best or the healthiest or the most logical sometimes. Are we operating under guilt? And it's also, as I was looking up guilt, there's shame. And shame is kind of like the lifestyle of living under guilt. Guilt is a feeling guilty of a situation or circumstance. Shame is a lifestyle. Good morning, Deborah. Good morning. Happy winning Wednesday. Yeah. Hump day. So we appreciate you guys for being here, rocking with us. And always that and then some. So listen, make sure, like I said, make sure you share and make sure you're a part. Tag another man, inbox him, say, listen, you need to be a part of these conversations. I think it will help you in your situation, whatever situation that may be in. If we've not covered it, we will cover it. And as always, we're open for suggestions for topics and things of that nature. Of course, you can always put it up here, or you can email us at brothersoflegacy@gmail.com. Just in case it's one of them topics that you don't want nobody else knowing that you asked about. I get it. So make sure you email us at brothersoflegacy@gmail.com, brothersoflegacy@gmail.com, and definitely let us know what you want to see and what you want us to talk about. Like I said, are men operating under guilt? And it happens sometimes. It happens in certain situations. It can happen for a season, because as a person, you're just not perfect. If things happen, and then you feel like either you're doing things because you're feeling guilty, you're not doing it for other reasons, plethora of reasons, love or concern, or this is what I do, but you're doing it because you're feeling guilty. And that is the worst reason to be doing a lot of things, because you're feeling guilty. Because one, you're putting off things that are necessary in order to do something because you feel guilty. And definitely want to discuss that, get into that, and talk about how to kind of break free of that, or kind of assess the reasons you're doing something, the reasons you're getting into something. All right. So we're gonna dig into that. I think that's what we're gonna talk about today. Maybe I think Pastor Chibby is running a little bit late. It's all good in the hood. But again, I appreciate you guys for being here, rocking with us. Like I said, make sure you share, make sure you join our text community. Text LWN to 84576. Never miss a broadcast, never miss anything that's happening with the Brothers of Legacy. And what else? I think that's it. That's all. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Let's kick this thing off, and we're gonna dig into this conversation. All right, let's go.
I want to welcome you to the Brothers of Legacy broadcast, where we are changing our community one conversation at a time, every day.
We are creating a new legacy. She gon' come, she gon' come, she gon' come, she gon' come, she gon' come.
A co-op has to start with ownership. Right. We have a mindset of either I want to make a lot of money or survive. Make a bunch of money or I got to figure out how to survive.
When you have a real bond, when everyone has, we come in with real expectations. Because this is this is covenant.
The whole point is this, that we as a people, with our money and time, aren't often making this general possible, often vested in the legacy.
You're watching the Brothers of Legacy. We don't stand out. We stand up.
All right. Yeah. All right. So, like I said, make sure you share. Let everybody know that we're in the building. We're going to get into this conversation. Conversation. I love hate that dude. All right. So, like I said, we're talking about guilt. Are we operating in guilt? I'm gonna just change it up. Are we? That's who we. Are we operating under guilt? Have you ever, find yourself agreeing to something either because you missed something last time or somebody makes you feel guilty about not being a part, and not sharing or not doing, and you find yourself just doing certain things because you feel guilty, because you feel like I either messed up last time or previously in another relationship, and not really just like a regular relationship, like a friendship or something. I messed that up. So now I'm gonna make up for it in this one by overcompensating and doing things when I need to be doing other things. But I'm doing this because I'm operating out of guilt, because I feel bad, because I feel like this is what I should be doing. And not necessarily the right thing to be doing. And I think a lot of time guilt can cloud your judgment. Guilt can really keep you from focusing on what you should be taking care of. And just as a reference, guilt is defined as a feeling you get when you did something wrong or perceived you did something wrong. A lot of times, we feel bad about things that sometimes we don't need to be feeling bad about. Hey, good morning, Mama Corey. Good morning, Miss Keita. Sometimes we're doing, we feel bad about things that sometimes were not in our control. There was nothing we could do about it, but yet we carry that guilt. Yet we have that, we hold on to it, and we're trying to make up for something that can't be made up for. You ever found yourself in that position, trying to get back to a space that really there's no fixing in that manner. There's no actions that's going to make certain things better. It's just, we have to move forward. You have to be able to move forward in this particular space or relationship, because it's generally certain relationships. You feel just guilty. And now you're just operating in a space where I'm doing this because I feel bad. I'm giving up my time because I feel bad, and it becomes a lifestyle of giving out of guilt. And in turn, it's taking away from who you are. It's taking away from places that you could be more productive, but you're only doing it because you're guilty. And then let's keep it real. You're not giving 100%. You're just giving the minimum to meet the requirement, and real talk, like whoever or whatever, probably whoever you are operating out of guilt for, they're not getting 100% of you anyway. You understand what I'm saying? It's like you're not really serving the purpose that you think you're doing, or serving what you're really trying to accomplish. Now, this is one half of it. I'm not talking about the folks that make you feel guilty, or they won't make you, but they do what they call the guilt trip, where they make you feel a certain way, make you feel like that you can't you can't accomplish. So yeah, it's definitely let's see, split this out. It's definitely hard to, operate when you're stuck in a place of guilt. Like, so like you got the folks that's putting it on you, do because of such and such, and it's like it's the worst when it's a constant guilt. They're taking one event that's happened, whether it be sometimes it's the death of somebody, the leaving of somebody, because they do that work too, make you feel guilty, and now you're operating from a space where you're doing it only because you feel bad. You're doing it, and it's an interruption in, I feel like, your purpose, because you're operating, from a space where you're not giving all of yourself, right? So you're not helping. You're not even helping them, because like I said, you're giving the bare minimum. You're doing it begrudgingly, but you're doing it out of guilt. Even in our children's lives, sometimes we do things out of guilt, feel bad. Like if there was a space and time you wasn't there, or you wasn't as connected. Right. Rollins said it good. Guilt makes judgments and decisions cloudy, unable to fully focus. Right. Because, like I said, it's guilt can sometimes transfer into like an obligation. I'm obligated because of I missed all this time, because that's like a biggest thing, especially with parents. If you've had issues, parental issues, and you're finally back in the kids' life now, I feel like I'm obligated to do all this stuff because I have to make up. There's no making up. There's no making up for time lost. There's just establishing your time now, and a lot of us sit on that, and it, like I said, it keeps you from really, really fully living your life. Some folks will hold you in a guilty space, and sometimes it could transfer into shame if your life is built on guiltiness of others, of what people feel, and obligated to do because I have it. And if you listen, all you need about 2 or 3 people to hold you obligated out of guilt, and it may not even be them. Sometimes it's our own mindset. Why do you keep coming? Why do you keep doing? Because I feel bad because of blah, blah, blah. Sometimes they're like, don't even worry about that. Like they're trying to free you up from the guilt that you're holding. But like some folks live in a level of shame, and shame is a feeling that your whole self is wrong, and it may not be related to a specific behavior or event, but your whole self is wrong. So you operate in a horrible space of obligation, of shame, of guilt. Like I'm required, I'm making up, I'm trying to change things, but I'm trying to change it from a space of just being there because I have to, not because I want to, and that's what we want to kind of dig into today, like the have to and the want to. Because when you have relationships, you want them to be genuine. You want to live in the moment. But if you're doing things just because you're guilty, then you're not putting all of who you are into these moments. You're just dragging them along. Like, I gotta be there because I wasn't there before. Like, it's not like I want to be there. I want to be in the life more. I want to do things because I want to enjoy these moments, but I'm just doing it because out of some guilty obligation. And like I said, sometimes the party is holding you and they keep bringing stuff up. Other times it's our own mindset. It's what we feel guilty about. Like I've done it in my family. I've done it at work. Like I made these big sacrifices and realize, what am I doing? Why am I feeling bad about this? Like, is it really, in the end, does it really matter? Because honestly, it didn't. It didn't matter. So, like today, I just want to kind of talk about, don't operate under guilt. Don't let guilt hold you hostage. Don't let it keep you from operating in your best space. because too many times we are stuck in a space where we're doing things because we have to. We're doing things because guilt has held us down. You know, some event, like I said, usually sometimes like family, you know, dad left us, you know, we need you to stand in the gap and be obligated to take care of all these responsibilities, and you're doing stuff because you feel like you have to. You feel like you have to. You know, you feel like I'm the only one. You feel like this will never happen or never get done unless I do it. You know, we feel like I have to be the protector, I have to be this provider in certain spaces where this is not where you're being called to do. And operating guilt, like I said, it stops your life from growth because you're too busy reaching out trying to make amends for things that can't be made amends in that particular way. It's not gonna change anything. You know, like even with my kids, and you know, like if there was something, you know, that happened, I can only apologize. Like, my bad. I'm human. I missed the boat. Can you forgive me? Can't do nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? I can, you know, like if we had some exchange or separation, I could just try to be in your life as much as I can. You know, like yeah. Listen, sometimes it takes the guilt to build character in those areas, but it has to be in the heart, right? I don't like to talk. You're building the character because I am seeing the fruits of it, right? Definitely. Let's see. Now it doesn't feel like I have to because I want to. Definitely. You have to, you know, listen, because even in relationships, right? And I've heard it from time to time, you know, like something goes wrong or, you know, things happen in a relationship and folks is walking on eggshells. Like, folks is like, you know, I gotta, you know, operate in the space where they just don't want to rock the boat. Instead of just living, instead of just speaking out, instead of just being who you are. Because some people hold back what they feel because they feel guilty. You know, like I'm not allowed to feel this way or express this because of what I've done. You know, and that's just, it's ludicrous. You know, like why would you live your life on eggshells around anybody? You know, you need to live in a space where you're comfortable, you know, and guilt and progressing into shame keeps you from living comfortable or comfortably, because, you know, there's so much you can impact, but you're overthinking it. Oh, can't say that because this happened. I don't want to speak up about that because this happened. And then sometimes I don't want to say something about this because they're going to bring up the past. So what? Like, you got to get this place. So what? They're going to bring it up. Let's bring it up. Let's put it out there. This happened however long ago. Just don't negate how I feel right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. When you're operating such a high level of guilt, you know, you're still gonna have feelings about things. You're still gonna have things that bother you, you know, and you should be able to express them things in your household, express those things on the job. Doesn't matter what you've done. If you still got the job, if you're still in a relationship, you're good. The verdict is, you know, the verdict has already been handed down. The issue or punishment has already happened. You know what I'm saying? The sentence is already done. Now we need to move forward. You know, you can't operate in a relationship under the umbrella of guilt. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of times, well, sometimes, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to be in the middle of that one. We put it on ourselves. You know, we live our lives based on a level of guilt. You know what I'm saying? Like, just feeling bad. And right, express to release the weight. Yeah, you got to release the weight. Got to have the conversations. And sometimes as a man, like, you kind of just sit on it. Who am I to complain about that? Who am I to say something? But you sit on it and it's on your face. My wife said, it's all in your face. I see it in your face. You know, you have to be able to express, you know, what you're feeling, what you're going through, what you're dealing with. Because a lot of times we are strangling our lives because we're not expressing how we feel. You know, we keep it in because of things that happened in the past. My feelings don't matter. I just gotta make sure everybody else is good. And that's a level of guilt. Like it's like we gotta the lowly, meek, and mild. You know, like that ain't Christ-like. You know, you gotta express yourself, how you feel, what's going on. And sometimes, like I said, that weight of guilt of something we've done, we feel like we have given up our vote to express what we're dealing with or how we feel. Because I felt that, but it's been me. I want to make that clear. It's me. It's not them. It's not, no one said not to say it. I just felt like, you know, because of what I've done, my feelings don't matter. And I put it on the men because, you know, sometimes we carry an unnecessary weight. Unnecessary. When we just need to tell folks, this is how I feel. This is what I want to do with my life. You know, got to deal with, you know, the results of the things that you express, but don't be afraid to express them. Got to get them out. Yeah, right. Better learn to talk to somebody, and hopefully someone that has your best interest. Definitely. What's up, Richard? Good morning, sir. But yeah, you definitely have to be able to express, you know, what you're feeling, what you're dealing with, what you're going through, you know, regardless of what's happened in the past. You understand what I'm saying? Don't let anybody, especially yourself, hold your head underwater over guilt. Because exactly how when you go underwater, you can't breathe. That's how your life is. It's like I'm struggling to live. I'm struggling to survive because I can't operate in a level of freedom because I feel so guilty. And like I said, it turned into a shameful life, like just living under shame because of something you did. Come on, man. I mean, it becomes you said you give them you said you give them the unfiltered version or the filtered abridged version. You give them the unfiltered how you feel version, you know, in the most respectable manner. I'm just saying, you don't have to cut out what you want to say. Try to say it in the most respectable, conversational manner possible. But you can't allow yourself to live under guilt, regardless of what you did. I'm just, whoever's watching this right now, regardless of whatever you did, don't operate under guilt. Don't let yourself, especially, because I feel like, I'm telling you, most of us it comes from us. It comes from us. You know, we feel guilty about things. You know, folks are like, why you always here doing, I mean, I appreciate it, but, you know, I feel bad because of blah, blah, blah that happened 10 years ago. And I ain't even thinking about that. You know, you sacrificing your whole life. And they're like, I appreciate you. You ain't got to do all that. You know, don't operate in guilt, though. Don't operate in guilt. Don't operate in guilt. Don't operate in guilt because it's the worst. It is the worst. You know, like you're walking on eggshells. You're trying to make sure things stay stable and peaceful, and you're not comfortable. And you're not comfortable because you're not expressing yourself. You're holding stuff in. You're not telling folk how you feel. You know, you're not telling your fam how you feel. You're not telling your friends how you feel. You're not telling your job how you feel. No matter what you did, how many mess ups you have. You still got your job. You good money. You good money. You know, don't let them hold that against you. You know, don't let some job tell you to come in. You know, I could have fought. Well, you didn't. I'm not coming in today. You know, like, don't let folk make you feel guilty about anything. Sometimes guilt is sometimes imagined. Yeah, it's a misplaced guilt when we are guilty. Right. Man, that right there. Because that's what that misplaced guilt, you know, but others manipulate us because of their self-fear. Sometimes, definitely. And that's another thing, the manipulation of others outside of you. Yeah, got to say something. Things will never change. Definitely got it. However you feeling, but you can't operate under guilt. All right. Hold on one second. I'm gonna take a quick break. Then we're gonna bring Pastor into the building. Let's go. Welcome back. Welcome back. What's up?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. No hat today.
Happy
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
Yes, indeed.
Man, I've been rushing today.
Oh man. Oh
So you
man.
can tell when I don't wear a hat. That shows you how often I have one on.
Right.
I don't even have one around here in my office either.
Really.
Nope,
go.
you get the dome today.
The dome. So, like I said, today we're talking about, are we operating under guilt? Have you ever in your life done things, or even a space of time operated because you felt guilty? Not because you necessarily wanted to do it, but you felt like guilt. You felt kind of like obligated because of something you've done in the past, or you neglected something in the past. And now you're like, I got to make up for it.
Absolutely.
So yeah. So did you ever realize that you was like either ask like, man, why am I doing this? Like you breaking your back to do it because you feel guilty. Like, did you ever recognize like, man, I can't keep feeling guilty about this. Like I got, and just like, and had to stop doing something that you obligated yourself to do because you felt guilty. Did you ever have that epiphany or that moment?
I don't think I stopped doing something
Okay.
because I felt like I was doing. I think I just changed my motive.
Okay.
Right? Because the
Right.
things that I did that I felt like I was doing, or maybe more aggressively out of guilt, were
Right.
things I needed to do anyway.
Okay.
Think about, having gone through a divorce, being a single parent,
Mhm.
you feel like you've cheated your children.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you want to do more
Yeah.
because you feel like there's something missing. They're not in a
Right.
complete household and all of
Right.
that. And then you wake
Right.
up and realize, well, wait a minute, I don't have to change who I am as a father.
Right.
Just keep being their father.
Right.
That's enough.
Yeah.
I don't have to overdo it or anything or feel any guilt. That those are the lessons that I had to learn many years ago with regards to my children. And even, because a lot of it is when it comes back to you, when your children begin to complain and express themselves,
Gotcha.
you feel guilty, you want to do something to take the pain away.
Right. Right.
And the reality is, no, they're going to outgrow it when you're consistent.
Right.
So that's a good example for me.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Richard said, if I obligate myself, others don't. You put your obligation on me, on my spirit and soul. Have you ever like, what about work? Have you ever operated like out of guilt from at work or obligation? Because I know I've done it, and you realize like, why am I putting all this? Or no, with me, I think it was a situation happened, and like I thought they were gonna have my back, and they didn't. I was like, oh, is that how we do? Like, we get, I then, that's when the relationship changed. Like, I then, I don't know what I was thinking. You here, I'm here.
Yeah.
This is how we're gonna work. I'm gonna do my thing, and I'm just, I'm gonna give you my all.
And that's a lesson I learned years ago too. Is
Right.
that if they don't want you, they will
Right.
let you go.
Right.
So don't feel obligated. Yeah.
Right.
When because I'm
Right.
blue collar by nature. I show
Yeah.
up every day anyway.
Right.
I have
Right.
given away more vacation days than I would care to even admit out loud. So
Mm-mm.
now
Yeah.
I'm not feeling that because you get enough out of me.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't have the work guilt at all.
right. Yeah, that's.
I mean, now here's the thing. Now I will say that being a black man
yeah,
that has operated in an industry where we are absolutely a minority.
okay.
It's a lot different now, but 30 years ago in the IT industry, you couldn't find us
Right.
at all. So I don't consider that to be guilt, but I did live life feeling like I had a target on my back every day.
Gotcha.
So I was dotting my I's, crossing my T's, 15 minutes early as opposed to right on time.
Right.
Yeah.
I got you. Like doing certain things just to kind of stand out. Just a little, I'm gonna do a little more. Just a little more. He said, John said, old boss told me if you're doing your job, you have nothing to worry about.
That's just not true.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it depends. If you're working for a publicly traded company, or a company who's not meeting the bottom line,
right.
I don't care how hard you work.
Right.
If they have to cut costs, they're going to cut costs.
Yeah.
The question is, where are you on the totem pole?
Right.
But that's a different conversation.
Definitely. Definitely. Oh, but yeah, so operating out of guilt and trying not to put so much on you to do things because you're feeling guilty. And like I spoke about, shame is like the lifestyle of guilt. You just shameful of, you're just doing everything because you feel like I'm not good enough, or I need to make up for, or parts of my life that I haven't done. And like I was talking about earlier, just being stuck in a space where you can't really grow because you're doing things because you're always feeling guilty if somebody calls, and then have you ever had, and you ain't got to mention names, but have you ever had folks put on you, I know you spoke about like kids and stuff like that, but outside of that, folks put on you, back in the day we used to hang, or back in the day, oh, somebody left, or they're not here, I need you, and, have you ever had someone put on you that life guilt, like to be there? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's close. That hits close to home for me. Right. Definitely. When people have gone through their own trials, when people don't feel like you were there for them. Right.
Okay.
And the reality is they needed to be there for themselves.
Right.
There's nothing anyone else could have done for you at that time. You just had to go through that.
Right.
And so sometimes people will feel like you should have done more.
Right.
And they'll make you carry that. They'll try to make you carry that guilt of having not being there for them. Right. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Definitely. But yeah, so it's I think it's just imperative that you don't sit on it. I mean, we have feelings, you're gonna feel bad about certain things that's happened, but I think it's just you can't carry it, right? Wouldn't you say you just can't carry it for a lifetime and let it affect everything that you do, because I can't move because such and such, I'm tied to, and I can't grow, I can't go here, I can't leave a church because I'm tied to or stuck with, and I've seen that, I've been in that stuck in a church space because I felt like, like in your mind, you feel like if I leave, the whole place is gonna come down. I mean, I guess that's probably about the best way to put it.
Then you leave, and 3 years later, they're still there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you have to learn. It's amazing that's why you have to be so comfortable with yourself.
Right.
Number one, as well as you do your job, as great as you believe you are, the job can still get done.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's why you have to know why you do what you do,
That's good.
right? If you're doing it for other people, you'll never. It's like Solomon says, like chasing the wind.
Right.
You've got to understand your own sense of purpose. We talked about that last night in Bible study.
Yeah.
Right. Adding to your faith.
Yep.
You know, character is something that you have to build over time.
Right.
You know, reputation is something quick, but it can be quickly gained and quickly lost.
Right.
You know.
Right. Yeah.
But character, godly character, is when you know who you are and you know whose you are, and you don't have to carry the guilty stains. God even tells you that you're short-sighted. You're controlled by your situation, by your scenario, by your peers, by your people, by your family, by whatever is going on, because you have forgotten God purged you from all that stuff. So you can't allow yourself to be trapped by the emotional state of other people or the situation that you find yourself in. There's always, the Bible says, God has not suffered you to be tempted above that which you are able, but will with the temptation make a way of escape that you may be able to bear it. So there's always a way out in the Lord.
Right.
You know.
Right. Right.
I found out that there is a difference between what is it? What's the term? You can be found not guilty, but still be wrong.
Right. Right.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
You could be found innocent.
Right.
And actually did it.
Right. Right.
Just based on people's perception.
Yeah. True.
You know. And so you can't be governed by those things. You have to be governed by something else so that you don't become a slave to emotion.
Right. Yeah, that's good.
Because guilt is an emotion.
Right. Definitely. It definitely is. But I don't know, like even if I'm sure with who I am, because I hear you, like I'm confident that like I know who I am, I know I'm good at what I do. But you know, you grow attached to organization, right? Regardless of which organization, and you feel like, you know, and to me it was with age that you realize you matter, but if you ain't there, they'll keep moving. You know, they'll stumble a little bit, you know. But with like you feel like you're part of something, you're part of the machine. It's like I'm this cog in the machine that makes this part run. You know, if I'm not there, you know, it's hard to feel like how they're gonna move on unless I find a replacement, unless I put somebody in that space. But like I know, like I said, even if I left,
well, here's the question.
You find a thing, you know.
If I say, "Isn't God good?" What do you say?
All the time.
Won't
Right.
God do it?
Yes, He will.
Where did that come from?
Just church, I guess. You know, just the church. I don't know.
Notice
like where.
Notice you did not say, because that's what I've seen Him do in my life.
Right. Yeah.
So
the same.
Technically, it's not even your testimony.
Right. Technically, you're right. Yes, indeed.
It's because you've conformed
Yeah.
to a culture,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
And so when you have conformed to a culture where you're providing, like right now at the church, you do audio, video, you do all that stuff, and you're like, man, if I don't show up, well, we ain't gonna be online, right? So
Yeah.
there's a sense of obligation.
Yeah. Definitely.
And then there's a sense of guilt, like if I walk away, man, it's gonna be so bad.
Yeah.
It will be.
Yeah.
It will be. It's
Right.
going to be.
Yeah.
But it's temporary.
Right. And I think
Someone
that's the
else will
part.
come in and figure it out.
Right. That's the part.
You know.
Like, yeah, they may not be online for like a little while, but someone will come in, step in, and they'll get it.
And so the lesson is for leaders and for organizations is make sure that the intellectual capital doesn't live with just one person.
Right.
That's an institutional challenge.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there shouldn't just be one person who knows how to do it anyway.
Yeah. Definitely.
And because you're the only person who knows, you carry that that sense of obligation.
Anyway, I mean, I'm getting Rollins on. So he's on there. He's learning.
Right. No, I'm just
Yeah.
using it as an example because
But no, I get it.
You brought it up.
No, I did. No, I get it though. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, because that's what it took me a while to realize that. Like, it just being part of different organizations and even work.
How about me preaching,
Right.
teaching Bible study?
Right.
Oh man, what's gonna happen if I don't teach? We
Right.
just won't have a lesson tonight.
Right. Right.
People gonna be mad,
Right. Yeah.
but I'm human.
Yeah.
I can't, like, for the life of me. I look at pastors and preachers, every week in, week and week out. Yeah, you do that, but I'm bivocational.
Right.
There's gonna come a Tuesday night where I just can't get to Bible study.
Right.
My responsibility is to make sure someone else can. But if I'm not able to get somebody else there, guess what? No Bible study tonight.
Right.
You know what I've learned?
What's that?
People get over it.
Right.
If the only Bible study you have is from me, that's not my problem.
Right.
That's a problem you have in your walk.
Right.
So it takes time to learn and to get past those guilts. That's the guilt that people put on you.
Right.
But that's the reason why when Moses was up in the mountain, he came from the mountain and there was a golden image.
Right.
Because of the pressure of the people
Yeah.
and the guilt that they put on the leader that Moses left in charge.
Right. Right.
Democracy will kill you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It will cause you to fall into sin. Doing giving the people what they want.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't walk around with that. And so what you have to learn is how to forgive yourself.
Right. That's good. Right there.
Like you really think you all that, man, get over yourself.
Right.
And then because
Right.
it's painful, you feel bad about certain things, and it's like, man, stop.
Yeah.
You're great, but you ain't all that.
Right. 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 True.
Old folks
True.
used to say, "One monkey don't stop the show."
Right. That's a classic line right there. One of the ladies says, "Not my monkey, not my circus."
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, definitely. I think that just forgiving yourself and getting over it. I think that's the key. Just it's all right. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Richard, rabbit hole question of the day. He said, "Question, Pastor, what age were you when you discovered your work ethic?"
Ooh, probably
Ethic.
15.
Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
Because I was working at, my first legitimate job was at the same place that my mom worked.
Okay.
So
wow.
I watched my mom go to work every day. And when I started working where she was working,
Right.
I had to go to work. My mother was there.
Right.
Got me the job,
Right.
So I learned at 15. And then right after that, I graduated high school and went to the military.
Right.
And in the military, I feel like in my life, there's no greater place to learn how to get up and go to work
than
than
the military.
working for Uncle Sam.
Interesting.
Because in the military, you couldn't tell them you were sick. They had to tell you were sick.
Right.
Right. And if they didn't tell you were sick,
you were sick.
You went to work or you were AWOL.
Wow.
Just that simple. You got up early,
right,
and you were productive early.
Right.
You got everything done before noon.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and that doesn't mean the workday ended.
Right.
That just means all the challenging stuff was done.
Okay.
Right. Because the best moves the military makes early in the morning. That's real. The greatest attacks to ever came at like 3 o'clock in the morning when everybody else is sleeping.
Wow.
That's it.
So they get you used to getting up. She said we're in Leavenworth. Oh, so yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think maybe my first job. I don't think I was ever like a slacker. I always took it serious. Like I never messed around. Nah, I never really messed around with it. I think I had one job I lost in one day when I thought the boss was asking me I see you this Saturday. Like it was Friday, like my first day. I see you this Saturday. And I was like, nah, I'll be here Monday. and it was a temp job. So he didn't say a word. I just got a call. You told me you want to go work on the weekend? No, I didn't say that. I thought he was asking me.
Yeah.
You know, young, just young. I was young, guys. I was young. I know. You were saying it was a rhetorical question.
Now, I remember living in Chicago, and me and my brothers got this job. One of the local grocery stores hired somebody to pass out these, you know, the weekly sales papers.
Right.
You know, and you go drop them in people's, you know, like mailboxes back then had these two little hooks underneath the mailbox.
Right.
Remember that?
Papers. Right.
Yeah, because you couldn't go in the mailbox. So the sales papers
allowed
went
to.
with the little
Right.
hooks where the newspaper would go.
Yes.
So we were hired, you know, a group of the young boys was hired to go and deliver all these sales papers to these houses in these neighborhoods of Chicago on the south side. And we went. Yeah. So we all loaded up in this van. Everybody got stacks of these papers and we were going house to house. You know, we were racing up and down the street. And then one of the guys was like, they can't see us. Right. They would give us a stack of these papers and they would meet us 2 blocks over.
Right.
2 blocks down and 2 blocks over. And we get another stack and we go hit
right
both sides of the street. And we realized nobody's watching us.
Genius moment.
So back then, you know, like in Chicago, you have alleyways. And you have these metal trash cans sitting out back where you dump your trash. We were slam dunking stacks of sales papers and running over to the next street to meet the driver. And he was like, man, you guys are moving quick. We hustling. We dumped all those papers.
Horrible.
That's the Chicago influence. I'm not blaming the city of Chicago for that.
Right.
I'm just blaming the guys we were with.
Oh man.
They got paid anyway.
That is hilarious. It's funny. I delivered that like in some country in North Carolina, in the country's part. Like, but my folks, they snitch on you. They be like, I didn't get my paper.
Right.
I have folks like, where my paper? Where my sales paper? I'm like, they told on me? I just missed one house. And they would be the house that told me. All right. So we appreciate you guys rocking and hanging with us and being here. Another edition of the Brothers Legacy. Where we don't stand out, we stand up. We appreciate you. He said, right. He said, right. It's all coming out now. That's right. Daily job confessionals. But
yeah, that was a long time ago. That was like 1980.
1980.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. 1980.
Nice.
79, 80, somewhere around there. Yeah. Wow. I think I was in like 8th grade. It's a long time ago, man.
Right. Thinking like, wow, 80. How was I? 14-ish? No. 80? Yeah.
You weren't 14 in 1980?
No.
Yeah,
80. Sorry. I was thinking 90. I was 4.
Yeah.
Take away the 10.
I was like, wait a minute, you have enough gray hair to be 14 in 1980.
He said I was 16. Oh, nice.
Yeah, see, right. Richard. Oh.
All right, guys. We appreciate you for rocking with us, and we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Always continue to be safe. Wear the mask, and know that we love you, but God loves you more. And you guys just pray for my son, because he may not make it. So, he ain't sick. I'm just pray.
Little brother.
just pray. Please, y'all. Please. All right. We look forward to seeing you guys.
Take care, Deborah. Take care, Mom. Yes. Love you.
He said 58. Oh, right.
58
nice.
in 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Nice.
Going on 14.
Nice.
Nice. All right, let me get out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place, AM. You know what we do. All right, peace out. Let me get the right one. That's not it. That wasn't it. This is it.
As always, we love you. Know that God loves you more. Stay safe. Thank you guys for rocking, hanging, being. Make sure to sharing is caring. All of my replay peoples that watch in the background that I know see this show, I appreciate you as well.
I'm still here. You're right, Rollins. I got to get on that. I'll tell you about it, Pastor, off camera. But we were talking about that. Write that letter to my son. Yes, indeed, Rollins. You're right. You're on top of that. All right, guys. I know. You're like, what is that? We'll talk about that soon enough.